Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel Piano Excellence for Life. I'm so excited to connect with you again and share some fun and important topics in order to elevate your piano experience. I think all of us musicians experience those moments where it seems like we do everything right. We play the right notes in the right time, but the music does not come. And speaking about playing the right notes in the right time, I think many of you have heard a very famous quote of Johann Sebastian Bach. There is nothing remarkable about it. All one has to do is hit the right keys at the right time and the instrument plays itself. Whether or not this was exactly Bach's vision on the instrument, or maybe it was a sarcastic comment to someone, we don't know. But this famous quote really made it into history. But let me tell you, if you want your playing to be expressive and beautiful, Bach's recommendation, with all respect for Bach, is exactly what not to do. So what Bach was talking about, hitting the right note in the right time, is something that I personally call playing by default. And all of us sometimes do play like that. We see the note, we play the note, and we don't overthink it. But we have to understand the difference between playing by default and playing by design. And obviously, playing by design is what we really want. And it's where we put all our effort in. Let's look into three aspects of piano playing: sound production, technique, and expression, and see, using some simple examples, how we can go from playing by default and elevate your experience by playing by design. So let's start with Bach, since we were talking about Johann Sebastian Bach, and we will look into invention number 14, B flat major. So if we play by default, and which is probably quite a normal stage when we just learning the piece, right? We just learn the notes. But over time, we start feeling not very satisfied with our own playing if it does not elevate to the next level. So how can we make our playing to be by design? And sometimes I say play on purpose, right? Not just pressing the notes, but do create something more. So if we apply this understanding of by default and by design to a sound work, what we want to experience is this sound in motion, right? So if you play like this, just like the Bach said, pressing the right key in the right time, you see my sound doesn't fly, right? It doesn't move. So what I want to do instead, I want to really focus my ear on the fact that each note goes into another and into another and into another. So my sound is always in motion. Right? Always moving from point A to point B, right? Here's my arrival point. Next phrase. But did you notice that first I played very slowly, right? And it's very important, right, not to skip this step, because I really want to hear how each note flows into another. I know it feels like, oh my God, there's so much work because there are millions of notes, even in a simple invention, but it's still so worth it. So this is one example of how we can elevate our playing and how we can elevate our sound and sound production if you really think about playing by design. Now let's look into the technique. The same idea of elevating your playing applies to the technique. So if we work on the etude, and I have Czerny and Germer's etudes here, something like this. Right? And if you simply, again, follow the Bach suggestion of pressing the right note in the right time and not doing much, right? I just press. Will you grow technically? Probably not. So in order for me to grow technically, right, I need to think, okay, how do I play by design? Which in a technical sense would mean to engage my fingers, right, physically. It should feel like a workout. So I'm gonna play more into the keys and I'm going to activate my fingers, to raise my fingers a little bit. Right, when I practice slowly, right? Plus, when we practice using all kinds of exercises, that also counts as playing by design and not by default. For example, playing this in Doctorate Degree, one, again, I am sort of forcing and encouraging myself to not just press the notes, but to do something with my fingers and with the way I practice. That helps me to grow technically. And by the way, this is what I'm doing with my wonderful students at Piano Excellence for Life program, which is designed specifically to help you to elevate your piano experience and to achieve your next artistic milestone. If it sounds like something interesting to you that you want to explore, you're welcome to book a call with me. Please check the link for booking a call with me in the description to this video. Thank you. And last but not least, let's talk about expression. So if I play something, say by Chopin, this wonderful and beloved prelude. And again, I don't try to do much, just press the right notes in the right time. That's what I see on the page, right? Again, you start feeling bored, right? And you feel like there's something lacking. What is this? Again, I need to encourage myself to elevate my playing by adding a lot more expressiveness into my playing. So let's not go into too much detail, but just even physical expression is going to elevate your playing. Right? See how I introduce this bass, for example, not just press, right? Not don't do that. Prepare everything. Long note. I need to do something with my hands. Right? I listen not only with my ears, but also listening with my hands. And that helps so much to create a beautiful and expressive performance. So in conclusion, I want to stress that this video was not made with the purpose of bringing Bach's vision down. No. Bach is one of my favorite composers, and he probably is the greatest composers of all time. However, let's make sure that when we practice, we're constantly thinking about playing by design, playing on purpose, whether or not we're working on sound or technique or expression. And that mindset of elevating whatever you're doing at the piano will help you to reach your goals.